Hi, everyone. This is Sister Elizabeth, and you are listening to In the Company of Charity, the podcast of the Daughters of Charity. And I am here with my good friend, Sister Liz Schoberg. How are you, sister?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, we haven't had a weather forecast or weather talk in the first two episodes of this season. So I just thought I would mention, we don't have to prolong it. We are clearly in that time when we are beginning to feel the divide, because
The great
I'm getting
divide.
colder. We are getting colder here. Summer is letting go. Winter is coming, because fall, very short, too much rain, not very good. So we're getting colder, and you have remaining hot in Texas.
We had a cold snap that
would it get like
went
80?
down. It went, overnight low was about 60. So
Ooh,
for a
yeah,
couple days,
chill.
and then it kind of went
Yeah.
back up. But
Yeah. All right. Well, our highs are like 60 now, which is like everybody's yay, but with rainy and cloudy and all that stuff. So the divide is occurring. So soon our listeners will be hearing about the
snow for you.
snow for
sure.
me, and the desert continues for you. So there you go. Life of a daughter of charity. You just never know where you're going to
Yes.
be. Hots and colds and all the extremes in between. But we have a really wonderful episode today. You had a great interview with just a delightful woman named Shirley. Shirley lives in
Yes.
California at the Hotel Dieu. Good friend of Sister Alice Marie Quinn, who's involved there in kind of miraculous and amazing ways from what we know.
Yes.
Yeah, and so she's a daughter
great
of charity. And this is one of our works in the province of St. Elizabeth, Ann Seton. And so that's exciting to have them represented in Shirley, because she is amazing. I mean,
You're
her life
gonna
is
love
amazing.
her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about her, but no spoilers.
No spoilers. She is just a sweet lady. She has a great story to tell, background growing up, and her professional life, and how she came to be a resident at Hotel Dieu with her relationship with Sister Alice. And so, it's a great story, and she is just so charming. She's like, she reminds me of my grandma, just super cute, adorable lady.
Yeah, I mean, she really is. She talks a little bit about the Meals on Wheels. I mean, that's kind of where you started, right? She gets Meals on Wheels to her room, and but then she takes it to places we could never have imagined, which is just, it's just so delightful, because we're in the company of a lot of people, and some people may think we don't always organize and plan our episodes, and we don't, but she especially helped to take it to such just a delightful, personal, fun, loving place. And considering, she is in a residence for people who are older and need some assistance, she's just someone who just delights in her life. And so
and pay attention to how COVID affected them, and it's just a testament to the human spirit. She had zero negative things to say about her experience. Not a one.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, her spirit is just, we should all just try to emulate that. And it was so beautiful. So like I said, no spoilers. We don't want to give it away, because some of the stories she tells will give you a reason, help you to understand why she just loves her life. And so enjoy Shirley. Sister Liz, you did a great job. Shirley did a great job.
Thanks.
And we're just real grateful for this interview.
And guys, keep connected. We, as always, love to hear from you at our email address, companyofcharity@gmail.com, and that we are on Instagram, Company of Charity Podcast. So find us and get connected. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So welcome, everybody. This is Sister Liz here, and I am with a new friend of mine. Her name is Shirley, and she's with us today. She is connected to St. Vincent's Meals on Wheels, and she's going to share a little bit about herself and her life. And so, Shirley, thank you so much for joining us and for being willing to be on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, where you grew up, anything about your life.
Right here in California. I was born at the California Hospital down here off the freeway.
Awesome.
I was born right here in Los Angeles. I've traveled a lot. I did private catering 55 years in homes and service clubs, Kiwanis Line, Rotary clubs, all these things. And I had a staff of 30 at one time, of waiters and everything. Different kitchens we worked in different buildings and different halls and everything. And I have seen and done things that most people will never see in their life or been there. And I've been very blessed all my life. I have been blessed as a child and all my life that I'm happy and carefree and, just nothing bothers me really. A few little things once in a while, but I've had a terrific life. I worked, one thing I want to say, I worked in 55 New Year's Eves in private homes up in the mountains, up in Beverly Hills and Palisades, not Palisades, but over the other way here, Pacific Palisades and all that, for 55 New Year's Eves, direct state. I was in somebody's home doing their New Year's Eve parties, 55 years. Yeah. And I was fortunate enough that I took care of Jimmy Stewart.
Oh my goodness.
In the end of a few years ago, his wife had passed, and I was asked, did I want to work for someone in a private home, which I had, not done privately, right against the person. And I said, okay, I didn't know who it was. They didn't tell me. And I went out to see the housekeeper, and I knew where he lived. So I knew when I got there, I said, my gosh, this is Jimmy Stewart's home. And I was hired. The next day I was hired. I went and worked 3 days later, and I took care of him. And wonderful man, just marvelous. On his knees every night, and devout Christian. And was a wonderful man. That was quite an experience. And I caught the cream of my crop on the top of my crop here. And I worked in buildings, and I've been in out in the woody areas. I've been in just all kinds of areas and homes. I did 25 service clubs, Kiwanis Line, Rotary clubs a week for about 32 years.
Wow.
In different places I had waiters, come in and help me, ladies help me. And we cooked all of our own food. And I am known for my famous cinnamon rolls. We made all of our own pies, rolls, everything, all my help and I did. And I'm famous for a cinnamon roll. And I had people used to call and ask me, was I the messy lady, the gooey lady? I had all these names given to me. And it's been wonderful. I have been blessed all my life. I had a wonderful family raised me, and my mother and father have been gone over 55 years now. And I don't think there's anything I've missed. I've been in buildings before Amazon and all them built their buildings. I was in large warehouses. We would feed at Christmas time. We could feed 50 up front in the office and 200 in the back of the warehouses and things. They had their turkey dinners, and we had the others up front. And that was in several places I worked. And we could send out 12 to 14 dinners the day before Christmas, catered dinners. They went the day of the parties, and stuff. And it's just been wonderful. And I've had a great life. And I knew about Meals on Wheels. I didn't know a whole lot, but of course I learned it. And was a good friend of Sister Alice Marie. And
yes.
I have been here 15 years. And I was one of the first ones to move in the new building. She got this building built for seniors. It took me 3 years to find some place to live. And I go and they say, we don't even have a waiting list anymore. You just go ahead, call in or come in or whatever. When I did catering all over the city and going home, I would go by, but it says, senior housing, whatever. I stop and go in. And at first they had a list. They put you on a list, but then it got to be there were so many needed places to live. And anyway, I was told about this place. She had just built it, Sisters Alice Murray. And I went around to places where the seniors would eat every day and asked, did anybody know of any place or anything? And one of the ladies called me, she says, I think we have something for you. And she says, we have a Hotel Dieu down in Los Angeles, Sister Alice. And she explained what she did. She got it built for us. And I called them, and she says, I went in the next day and we talked in just a few minutes, and she looked and she said, you want to pick your apartment? It was in here. And that's what I said. Well, that's been my life. And I said, I've had a lot of tragedy and things too, and I said, yes. And I come in, and I was picked in 2 days. She said to me right that day, she said, you want to pick your apartment? And they brought me up here, and I'm on the top, 3rd floor. And of course, I got very acquainted with Sister Alice Marie. Her and I are very much alike. Alice Marie and I, sister.
Yeah, of course.
We're the same age and everything. And she used to tease me, and she'd open the door between the Meals on Wheels dining room and the kitchen. And sometimes, and she said, I'm the boss. I open the door. And I said, well, I was the boss for 32 people for years. She said, well, I'm the boss now. And we laugh about it. But her and I talked one day for I take about 2-3 hours down there. And then when I first come in down there, and I didn't eat there then. I was working and eat, when I'm working. But we got acquainted, and a very good friend. And of course, she's dearly missed. We all still miss her every day. But they've been marvelous here. Meals on Wheels has brought our meals to our doors. The Hotel Dieu has brought us masks. They've given us little things, to help us and get through all this. And we're called twice a week here to make sure we're okay. And the food is very good. I tell Danny always the food is very good. It's not seasoned like you'd like it sometimes, but that's what happens when you get older. And it's very good. I didn't care for tofu. And,
not very many people do.
but I'm glad I'm not the only one. I told Danny that, he laughed like you. And I'm very pleased that we used to go down to the dining room. Of course, we had a good time because there's a whole bunch of us had a very good time. And that's been my life. I've been very fortunate in the life I have, and blessed. I am really blessed always. And I was raised with a terrific grandmother, and my mother and father worked all the time, of course. But everything is. And I think they do a good job downstairs. I really do, and they're nice to us. They were nice to us, and they are now. They're bringing it right to our door now and hand it to us here at the door. And of course, they're doing many, many numbers now, a lot more than they were. And it's just amazing what's going on here. But I can't. I'm trying to think of something.
Well, one question I was going to ask you is, if you could talk a little bit more about, you mentioned it, but the feelings that you were having when you couldn't find a place to live.
Well,
what was it like for you?
Things don't bother me very much. Have never bothered me very much. So I'm getting a little older now, but it was frustrating not to find a place to live. 3 years it took me. I'd be working all over the city, out down by the oceans and back, and and I'd see the sign senior housing. I'd go in. Like I say, at first they haven't, they signed you up, and you could call in, see if there was anything, or they'd call you. And it took 3 years before I found this place. And I'd go down where the seniors were eating, like I said. and asked, did anybody know anything about all that? And the one lady called and said, yes, this new building just opened. And I come right down and was accepted that afternoon. Within 40 minutes, less than 30 minutes, I was up looking at the apartments.
It must have been quite a relief for you to be able to find that.
Oh yeah, because it was just time to get. I was in a big house in Hollywood that I had lived in for 12 years, and I had to. I needed to move. It was too much, and this is where I ended up. And I've been here on I think I'm my 15th year, and I've helped families. I've helped several families. 2 of my 6 children. I took them all one night to buy shoes for all of them for school. And the guy at the shoe thing says, all of them? I said, all 6 of them, 1 girl and 5 boys. And he brought out the shoes, and I bought them play shoes and school shoes. And I think Christmas gifts for the little kids. When I had little kids, I was helping families. I sent Christmas gifts for about 15 years to the families till the kids got too big.
Wow.
And I've helped 3 or 4 or 5. I've helped a lot of families, but I've actually fed and clothed 3 or 4 families and put them in. And I give back, and I give back here. I've sent out letters and things here. So far, 5 people have sent money in to help.
That's great.
But Meals on Wheels, it's wonderful for all of us that don't. And I know it's good for a lot of other seniors that don't have any family. I have no family. I have 1 left, and she's a Shirley. We're the same age, and she's in Alaska. But I know we have several who don't have any family, and they, it's hard for them if you don't have anybody. But they're good to us here, like I say, and Danny's exceptionally young man. And all of them, they all are. And all the sisters that I've met down there, I don't know the names of them because I didn't know a lot of them. But Sister Donna, I was close with Sister Donna when she was here doing the decorating and teaching all the, stuff for people to make stuff and do things. Matter of fact, I got a call from her just recently, making sure I'm okay. Is everything all right? And they, as I say, they call us twice a week here in the hotel do itself, because we're at the bottom, we're at the top.
Tell me, I was going to ask how things have been over, this pandemic. We're talking right now, it's March 10th, but I wanted to kind of hear from you. Obviously, things have been different. How have things been how do you feel connected? Has Meals on Wheels or anybody else from Hotel Do been able to kind of fill in the gap? Because a lot of people feel really isolated.
Yeah, we go down and pick I've been in my apartment 1 year, the 3rd of March. I went in my doctor, and I had not seen her for the whole time. And she made me come in January to see her, and she checked all over me and everything, gave me the test and all, and everything, and did blood tests and everything. And I said, can you give me the COVID test? And she said, yes. She come out and give it herself to me. She gave the test herself to me. But we all connect, like today, where there was 4 of us down there to get laundry, and we stand our line and things and wait, and we talk. And, how are you, John, or how are you, Bill? And I think I'm one of the older ones. But the people, we do have a 90-year-old. I don't know if she's still in the building or not. I haven't been able to find out. But we still talk. We all talk. And I could go out and walk at night in my hallways. I have to stay in my apartment. The doctor told me that. She told me all this is going to happen. She said, I don't know how long it's going to be for. That was a year ago, March. And she said, that's what you like. You should go home, get in your apartment, stay in it. And nobody's to come in unless this has to be work at something. And I said, yeah, that's what we've done. I'm cleaning out my apartment. That's helping. I'm getting rid of all my business papers and all the things, that you have to have when you have a business and stuff. And my mother started the catering business herself. She was asked by the church by the Lions Club there in Maywood, California. Our first place. She was asked to do their lunch, and she said, "Oh, I can't." She had worked in private homes for people, took care, fed maybe 25 or 30. He said, "We're going to have 40 men." She said, "Oh, I can't feed 40 men. There's too many, too many, too many." And anyway, he said, "We'll get some of the ladies in the church to help you." And that's how the catering started in way, way back. And we just still all have contact. We all talked this morning. Different ones ask, "How are you doing?" Sometimes you don't quite know who they are with the mask on. You sometimes have to ask. You're with her here tonight, But I walk the hallways at night when nobody's out. Doctor said I could walk out, go out around the hall. I've been out of the building just that one day when they picked me up. My young man that helps me picked me up and took me to my doctor to see that day. She insisted I come, which I'm glad she did. I'm okay. Everything's fine. And I was tested, okay on the test and all that. And I just think we're fortunate. I don't believe anyone's ill here, been ill. Or they may have people around them that is, but I don't. But it is a blessing to have your meals delivered and things brought to you and things like they have to give us masks. They have to give us masks and things. And like I say, they call us twice a week. And if we need anything, they're here for us. I know that they're here to help us in any way they can.
And I have to say, I am so impressed for somebody who's been in your apartment for a year. You have a great attitude.
I was a happy kid. I had a blessed grandmother. She was a God-loving woman. And they lived in the front, my mother and dad, and all of us lived up in the back in a high rise, and the catering started there. And then my mother took ill, very serious. So then I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad tried to discourage me from doing the catering because it's hard work. It was hard, long work. But I'm a good help. And I did let myself get heavy. I did live on Coca-Cola. 15 years ago, I quit drinking Coca-Cola. And doctor says, don't drink anything with color. You can drink like 7-Ups or something plain. Don't drink any. Water's all I drink. I don't drink coffee or tea.
Okay.
So I lived on Coke. I go to the homes to work in, and the butlers or the maids would have the Coke sitting on the counter for me when I got there. And I was fortunate enough to work for the different homes. We had the Japanese consul one time. And several times I worked there. I'd go and work in the kitchen, and that was an experience and a half. They'd have 30, 40 pounds of meat. They'd have big counters with all kinds of seafood and everything on their tables, on big marble top tables. And the one time they had a big 4 or 5 different kind of meat places outside in the yard. And I've seen most of the mayors in Los Angeles about the last 4 or 5 years. When I was working, I worked till for about 5 years ago, and doctor said, "Give it up." She said, "Shirley, your knees are going." They went.
Yeah.
But I get around good, but they did go out. But I'm real happy about everything. Very few things bother me. I don't get mad. Once in a while, if I get mad, you better get out of the way.
Watch out.
I'm coming. I'm coming. No, I don't really. And they're just, I think it's a wonderful thing what sister did with Meals on Wheels and all around the city. And I had a reunion we had a reunion in our high school out in, way out towards Disneyland at one time. And one of my friends, we were girlfriends in high school. She sat next to me, and we went around and told what we did. Some were going to teach. I was still working. Some were going to classes. Some was learning to play the piano. Some were doing, and they got around, and I said, told them I was still working. Kid, wow, you're still working? I said, yeah, I'm working till the end comes. And they all laughed at me. but she said to me something. I said, so she said something about, oh, she said, I deliver Meals on Wheels. 4 of them deliver Meals on Wheels in their cars, their own cars. We have the van here. And she said, I deliver Meals on Wheels too. I learned to play the piano and learn a new language and all that stuff. And everybody thought, we all thought that was great, that was, you're going on with your life. And she's still living. I will be 86. I am 86. I can't believe I don't think I'm that old. I really don't. Terrific life. Just working for Jimmy Stewart was the top. I mean, that was my catering was wonderful all the time. We had wonderful people. Once in a while, you get a bad group, and I did have a group of one of the service clubs I threw it out. Told them I couldn't do them anymore. It
happens.
Too much swearing, and all that stuff. I said, no, my help doesn't have to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I know we have to wrap up here in a minute, but we have a lot of young people that listen to the podcast. And so is there anything that you would want them to know about your experience and what your experience with Meals on Wheels, and any encouragement that you want to give?
I always tell them when they brought up our meals, I always tell them thank you and tell them that I appreciate what they do. And everything. We have one of your guys. I miss Shirley, by the way. I want you to know. I miss Shirley when he comes here. He's so cute. I can't think of his name. But, they're all very good to us. All of them. They deliver. They always talk to us. They want to know we're okay and everything. And they'll answer you if you ask them anything. And they're on time. And we get. Danny's a good guy there. He's doing what he should be doing. All of us. But I would recommend it. I would recommend them volunteering. I talked to a lot of that used to come in and volunteer at different times. And that's interesting to me because they tell you stories about where they come from and, what they've done. But it's nice to talk with you.
Yes. And I really appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. It's been wonderful. And I thank you so much. I've enjoyed it.
Yes, and you'll be in my prayers.